Good morning and Wanakamuga. This is Dr. N and welcome to the biking experience. I'm late to work today. Yesterday was a Sunday and I have the Monday blues to get back to work. Let's see, go. It says saved places. Where am I going today? I'm going to work. Why can't you show me saved places? Will be something else. Restaurants, public pumps, recent searches. Yeah, that's my hospital. Let's get going. Whoa, what was that? That could be one of the stones escaping from the rear tire. So how has the weekend been? Mine was okay. It's a small touch of flu. Otherwise I was alright. I was publishing a movie review and I'm going to post the link somewhere up here. Do like, comment and subscribe there if you love the movie Leo. Now, Leo is a Tamil blockbuster that just got released last Thursday amidst a lot of controversies. The movie is loosely based on David Cronenberg's The House of Violence. Now, I actually had gone and seen that movie. Okay, there's a new optical shop. I love it. The streets are empty. Today happens to be one of the many days of what they call down here as Puja holidays. Let's say start. And this is 3 days of Puja or Pujai, as you say in Tamil, where we do Pujai to a lot of things. God Saraswati is one of them, and she is the god of learning, goddesses of learning. And the second day is called Ayudha Puja, which is for all the machinery that you own, and they clean it and they pray to it, saying thanks. It's just like our harvest festival that comes in January in Pongal. It's very similar to that. But yeah, this is something for the that's my gym buddy. Hello, here at the D-Max. So that's correct. So that's why usually the streets are very empty today. Usually there's a lot of traffic here. You will see it in one of these days. And yeah, so Leo was a movie that got into a lot of controversies, and especially for the violence. And yes, that's my gym over there. Slam it. Got into a lot of controversy, especially for the violence that had in it. Now, Indian filmmakers always have some kind of reasoning for the violence that they have in movies. They say the story requires it. Now, I happened to go watch House of Violence after I watched Leo. So they have actually toned down. Oh, those are poorly serviced brakes from a bus behind. So they have actually toned down the violence, but there are some violent scenes in the movie, and some of them have been flicked from that sound. It's a government bus. Why don't you look after it as it were your own? Anyway, so the movie has flicked a lot of scenes from a lot of movies. If you had seen the very, very shocking curb scene from the movie American History X, well, that's here in this movie. Well, in that movie, he is actually trying to prove that he's an alpha. Edward Norton, brilliant performance. If you haven't seen the movie, please go watch it. It tells a story of how the world is turning into. It's based in America, but that's how the world is actually turning into. It's turning into a very, very negative place, and it's turning into a very, very murderous place. There is no more tolerance anymore among people. People are losing it. I mean, currently look at the war that's happening in Israel and Palestine, and Israel with its superior firepower is almost crushing Gaza. It's crushing Gaza. I'm not trying to see. There is a lot of history, and if I spoke about it, there's going to be a lot of bias on it, and I'm not going to talk about it. What I'm going to talk about is the fact that of tolerance. I'm going to talk about tolerance. Well, see, the other day I was heading to work, and see, this is a tolerable amount of traffic. You can actually ride through, slip through, and all that. You see one of those autos? Yeah. So one of those auto guys on a very, very tight road tried to come in between, and you see the small gap in between the driver and the passenger. There's a small gap. That's where he gets in his cabin, right? He came so close, and he couldn't control the bike. He just came and he didn't slam into my bike, but he just came and hit my arm and came into my motorcycle. One of the Boxer engines was inside his cabin. Oh, that was so weird, man. But anyway, by the time I realized that he had, because I was seeing him on the mirror, and by the time I realized that he was coming beyond control, and there was a bus in the front, he was already there on the side, and I was already inside his auto. By the time I realized that this has happened, and I'm just trying to do damage control, I'm trying to look at what are all the things that's broken. I know my arm is gashed, and it's not injured, and I know my Boxer twin is just inside, so it's not hit my engine, and I don't have any side panniers in the city when I ride. He has not touched any part of my bike. He just came and he very skillfully plugged in. So anyway, so I was so angry, you know. One thing was, why did he need, and he had kids, you know, school kids in the back of his auto. I was very angry, and I'm wondering, and I'm like trying to tell him, hey dude, what is the hurry? Where are you heading so fast? Probably he's late for school, and he's trying to get them on time, various reasons. So I was very angry, and I was actually so close. I was like here, his face is here, I'm here. We were so close. All I had to do was just slap him. I just had to like punch him. I was so urged to punch him for two reasons. One is, I mean, I love this bike. I mean, everyone loves their bike, right? It's one of my dream bikes. I really take care of it. But and anyone hurting the things that I love is gonna get a lot of scorn from me. But I was so angry, and his face was so close, I could just punch him in the face, and he can't even react because he was sitting lower down. Somewhere in between, I was like, okay, let me just take some time out, and I just had like 10 seconds before I had to take a decision whether if I'm going to punch him or not, because there was a lot of traffic built up and people were honking already, and I was getting impatient because I was getting late to work, and I had to take a decision whether I need to punch him or not. So I'm like still thinking and thinking and thinking, but I'm almost pushing my hand out to punch him, but I'm stopping myself and I'm showing my anger. But after a point, after that 10 seconds of, you know, controlling my my moment of truth, I'm realizing two things. One is, a few things more than two. I'm realizing that if I punch him, okay, maybe he is a dopehead, or maybe he's a drunk and he's still sobering from last night, and if I punch him and his head goes into a tizzy and probably he dies, who knows. That was one thing. The other thing is, so he might get back to me. You know, what if he gets off the auto and it is going to be a street fight? Now, in a street fight there are no rules. He can do anything he wants. He can take a spanner from his auto and hit me, or he could run to a nearby tender coconut shop, pick up one of those matches and come and slice me. I mean, he can do anything he wants. I'm not sure if I might have the strength to stop him, and maybe he's not going to harm me that badly, but he might harm me internally, mentally. And I go to work and I'm seeing patients, and what if I go in a very foul mood and I shift it off to my patients, and I'm not my whole full self to show my patients my complete, mindset, like, good. I'm not there to give them a good treatment. I'm not going to give them a good treatment because I'm so upset. I had a street fight with a thug. So all this is running in my mind, a flash of 10 seconds, and I decided not to fight him. The damage is done. If I want to go call the cops, put a case on him, I mean, that is a possibility. I could. The chances are I need to be running more for it. So I quickly assessed my damages and I said, hey, you know what? I'm not that injured. The bike is not that damaged. He's just an idiot. He's just a dope head, or he's just an alcoholic, or he's just a guy who's trying to get to someplace quick, or maybe he didn't have brakes in his bike. What if he had just come and crashed into me and I was thrown off the bike? I mean, that didn't happen, right? This, and I said, hey, you know what? Forget it. Let's just get going. So that's my take-home message from the whole thing was react slow. Don't react to the gist of moment. I mean, register your protest. Definitely register your protest. If somebody does something which you don't agree to, you can always register your protest. I mean, act on it a little later, but protest. Say, no, I will not agree. I will not go down. I will not kneel down. I'm sorry. I won't. I mean, say it politely. You don't have to say, hey, boy, my boy, what's up? You don't have to raise your voice. Just say it very politely. I know you are totally adrenalized. I know you are totally like angry, and that you want to shout at him. React, but very slowly. I've actually made another review on a movie called Irugapatra. It's about couples breaking down and the various reasons why they break down. There are 3 couples in the movie, and I have given it a hormonal twist. I can try to post the link here somewhere anyway. I mean, it's in Tamil. If you can find some kind of a translation app or a device, or if you can play it and have it translated into your language, it'd be great. It's a very sunny day, and but the sky is overcast. That's because the monsoons have set in. Can you find this Capricorn? No. Let's go. That's a very funny angle to get in. I could have, if I had gunned, opened the throttle from the bridge, and I could have passed this car. But anyway, there's no hurry. I'm late anyway. So that's what was running in my mind. If you're angry, it's okay to show anger. What I'm saying is, show it in a very regulated way. If you have seen the movie Anbe Shivam, you would realize that there's one scene where Shivam is back at us. And he says, you know what, I hit you too, but I hit you in a very relaxed, calm, composed manner. I made a point, right? So it's a great movie. I mean, again, it's a flick of this movie called Planes and Trains. Great movie. I think Chris Farley is in it. Anyway, coming back to Leo, so they have glorified a lot of violence in the movie. They have glorified smoking. They don't understand. I mean, they do put a disclaimer underneath and they say smoking kills, blah blah. The thing is, where they choose to keep that smoking is what matters. I mean, they can, if you see any, let's say Godfather, there is a scene where the Godfather pulls out a cigarette and smokes, and that scene actually comes when he I think that was when he discovers that Fredo is the one who's killed his family. I mean, he's in Cuba. He's really stressed. Okay, he's trying to calm his nerves, or whatever you want to say it. So he's trying to calm his nerves, and he takes a whiff, and you don't actually see him blow the smoke. Well, if you have seen him blow the smoke, do comment. But what actually happened is he's stressed out. But in this movie, if you see Leo, whenever he wants to prove, yeah, that's the poster, whenever he wants to prove that he's an alpha and he's going to beat up the thugs, he pulls out a cigarette, lights it up. Not habitually like when he's having coffee. He's in a coffee shop, and he's not smoking in a coffee shop. Only when he's a thug, he's smoking. Just like in this, in the movies, right? All the heroines will be dressed up in hip mini skirts, and when they get married, when they are actually going to get married or they get proposed to, they immediately change to a sari. They change to a salwar kameez or something. So the minute our man learns to live incognito, he quits all vices. What a nonsense movie. Well, I made a review of the movie from the fans' point of view. I actually wanted to make it through my point of view. I would have roasted the movie, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to know what makes a fan watch this movie. What makes him tick? What makes him jump and scream in the movie? And I did too. I jumped and screamed. I just didn't apply logic to any of the things. I just said, you know what, I will just watch it. When the fans jump, I also jumped. Sometimes I did feel exhilarated. Oh, there's a lot of adrenaline that pumps in this atmosphere when you watch it with the fans. That's the thing about movies here in India. There are some movies which really stimulate your thinking, and that was Irugapatra. Go watch it. Fine cinema. So I'm almost at work. I will see you guys at the end of the day. I'm praying that today will be a light day. Today will be a light day because Indians have this thing that they will not go to the hospital on a festival day. If you're turning there, come closer and turn, you moron. Don't keep turning from there. If you want to take this turn, no, he will keep turning from there. You come here, put your indicator and turn right. People in India really don't know how to turn. Well, they paid for the licenses, right? Who teaches them all of this? Anyway, see you guys. Have a great day.